Hello, and welcome to Film Slam Stream's post-film conversation for Baby Faith Christmas. My name is Eric Siler, and I'm a professor of film, media arts, and communications, as well as moderator for this conversation. We are very pleased to be joined by the director of Baby Faith Christmas, Kevin Taylor. Kevin Taylor is a true epitome of a Renaissance man. He's an actor, musician, writer, director, producer, author, teacher, father, everything. He's Mr. Everything, Renaissance man. He's worked on films that you may have heard about, such as White Boy Rick, Fast and Furious 8, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, and many, many more. He hails from Cleveland, Ohio. He's been selected for many film festivals, not only Cleveland, but Orlando, Canton, and the Greater Urban Cleveland Film Festival his films have been in. Kevin is also an author. He's published a children's book entitled Stop Lying, a book about a little boy raising lions in his home. So Kevin has so much to offer us, but here today we're going to talk about Baby Faith Christmas. Hello, Kevin, and welcome.
Eric, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing just fine, just fine. So this is a really, really nice, touching, wholesome film. So what led you to making this film? Were you like in a Christmas spirit one day and decided, hey, I got to write something?
You know, sitting in the pandemic, man, you're absolutely right. It was around Christmas time, and my writing buddy, my writing partner, we just were sitting around like, man, we should do something. You know, getting a little antsy sitting in the house, and we decided let's make a short Christmas film, and we sat down and came up with a couple of concepts, and eventually we landed on the one about Baby Faith. So that's how we got it.
I see. So it's really an adorable story, and one thing that really stands out is that it could happen in any culture, anywhere, anytime, and obviously it was an all-black cast too as well. So did you have that in mind in terms of making a film, that it could just be like any race or anytime, anywhere?
Yeah, I typically try to just write stories. You know, I don't think about race when I'm doing it. Obviously, me being a black man, I'm gonna have that input in the writing of it and everything. But yeah, it's definitely a thought out effort to just tell a great story, not be concerned about which race, which nationality, or culture or anything.
Well, good, good. Yes, that's. I like what you said. It's about telling stories as well, and a lot of filmmakers like to do cultural stories as well to the connect to their culture. There's nothing wrong with that,
Right,
and
right.
it's good to see a story that does have an all black cast, in which it doesn't have any ethnic kind of connection with it as well too.
Yeah, I
Um,
think I think when we when you just think about the human condition, period, the love themes, jealousy, money, plight in life, coming of age, those are all just regular stories that can be told through any culture. So
I see. Any plans to like make this into a feature? Well, after I said, this is something that could probably be on a Hallmark channel. Any plans of doing something like that?
you're probably the second or third person that's told me this could be like a Hallmark film, actually, and that's fun because we thought about that. We thought that man, is it a story that could be lengthened into a feature film? And I think it can. I mean, obviously, those who've already seen it would be like, oh, I know how this ends, but we could do some stuff in the middle to try to give them something to be entertained with while they wait on the ending they already know, or maybe we might even change the ending.
You might. I mean, there's a lots of different directions you could go. In the credits, you flirted with some ideas there,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, there, with possibly the couple getting together,
Yeah.
Monroe and her old boyfriend
Yeah,
getting
we
together.
wanted to tell a little bit more to that story, but we didn't want it to be too long. You can get caught in that arena when you're working on short films where your short could be too long to be a short and too short to be a feature. So we didn't want to do that. We wanted to keep it kind of right in that good short space, that 7 to 15 minute space.
Right, absolutely. So in that space, that the time frame, let's talk a little bit more about the production. Yeah, you wrote this during the pandemic. You produced it during the pandemic. Can you tell us about some of the challenges you faced actually making a film during the pandemic?
Well, definitely, the whole COVID compliance was always in play. We had to make sure that everybody was, healthy and staying safely, safely distanced when they weren't on scene, wearing a mask, making sure that we had everything that we needed on set, wipes and sanitizer and things like that. And then some of the actual filming challenges just during that time was keeping the crew small, keeping it to a minimum where we didn't need a lot of people on set. And I think the biggest thing for us was once we were able to find the locations, and if you look at the film, it was intentional that a lot of our location was outside, so that way we were out in the open and not confined into small spaces and whatnot.
Well, good. That's good to keep in mind. So how many days of filming did you do?
I think overall maybe about 6 days. They weren't 6 full days. Like we probably had 2 or 3 full days, and then those other days were just picking up shots here and there, things that we needed to get. Some of the scenes where you see the flashback where she's walking down the street, that was probably just the afternoon where we said, all right, it's enough snow on the ground, let's go get it on this day.
Right. It's exactly, make use of the best of your time.
Mhm.
Um, I just want to let everyone know we're about halfway through our conversation with the director of Baby Faith Christmas, Kevin Taylor. If you have questions, please put them in the Q&A portal and we'll get to them as time allows. Now, the cast itself, how did you come about the cast? Were these people that you knew? Did you hold auditions? Talk a little bit about that.
You know, um, the film community in Cleveland is pretty small, and so being a writer and a filmmaker here, I kind of know who's doing what. And sometimes when I'm writing, I already have some people in mind. And for this, because we were in the pandemic, I didn't want to hold auditions and have all of these big, events where people would be gathering. So I just kind of reached out to some of my friends and people that I knew that I thought fit these parts. And I said, hey, I'm gonna be working on this project if you're open to it, and so we were able to get some of my favorites. We got Angela Winborn and John Busser and Heather Richardson, and then the young lady just came out of nowhere. That was actually Heather's niece, the baby Faith, the baby version of Baby Faith, and so when she, was able to get her, that let us know we could do some of the outside flashback stuff, and then the young lady, Lamonda, that I did put a call out for her because I needed a specific age. I needed her to look a certain, kind of match with the mom and all that kind of stuff. So I did put a call out for her, and it just so happened that a friend of mine said one of her good girlfriend's daughter wants to be an actress. And so I said, hey, let's try her, have her. So we got on Zoom and everybody read the parts and everything, and she turned out to be the one.
Indeed, she did. But you left out one actor as well too. Uh, Full disclosure, Kevin and I know each other, and he made a cameo in there as well too. Tell us about your role in the film.
I made a cameo. What did I do? I forgot. Wow. Let me see. Was I a driver? Oh, I was a driver, right?
Exactly, driver and the voice too.
Say it again.
And your voice. The voice.
Oh, that's right. I actually was the driver of we called it the Luber. Instead of an Uber or a Lyft driver, we called it the Luber driver. So I was the driver. And then also, I was the voice of the news, Channel 7, the news for this movie.
Yes, the WKYT.
There you go. Yeah,
Put your initials in there as well too.
Yeah.
Looks like we do have one question coming in, and the
Okay.
person wants to know is what happened to Rihanna at the end? Did she go back with her real mother?
I want them to answer that. The
Okay.
person that asked the question, give me the ending. What happened to her? Did she go with mom? Did she stay with her adopted mom? Actually, for us, it was just that was the beginning, right? So there again, like you said, Eric, we could take that story and build on it. So there's the beginning of how do you make a transition like that when you actually do come across your biological parent.
Okay, well, good. I like that. You're giving the students some assignments as well too. Another question that's coming in is there any part of the story that is true, or did you completely make this up?
We made the story up. Obviously, there are, some stories that you've heard about in the news through the years, and to be honest with you, I do have a relative in my family that actually made the news as a child, in a similar fashion where they were, uh, you know, abandoned and found. This is like, some I heard about this story when I was growing up as a kid. And so probably in the back of my mind, some of that story was there, but they actually made the news years ago. I mean, years ago. This is before I was born, actually. And so I think that probably did have, it kind of creeped into my creative thoughts in making this film. Yeah.
Okay, well, good. Yes, everyone gets inspired somehow
Hmm.
through real facts or imagination. Oh, another question that's come in is why did you call this film Baby Faith Christmas?
Oh, that's a good question because me and my writing partner, we angst over that back and forth, what we were going to name the film. And, it after writing, typically when I'm writing, I think the name kind of comes out of the end of, when you make the story, you kind of find what the name is going to be. And because the news channel, the news reporter, they just named her Baby Faith because it happened on Christmas Day and everything. So we just decided that was probably the best name to call the film. And actually, I've been toggling back and forth with Baby Faith's Christmas with apostrophe S. So I think it's going to turn into Baby Faith's Christmas. Um, I think I actually put that on a poster as well.
Very good. Some good questions.
Yeah, very good question.
Please keep them coming in. We have time for maybe another question or two. Now, what do you want people to take away from this film after watching this film? What reactions would you like people to have?
All reactions are welcome. Sometimes I write a story with a notion to kind of leave something with the audience, but in this case, like I said, we were just trying to write something that was entertaining, but definitely, there are some themes that happen in the story, like you never know. I do recall hearing statistics that most accidents in cars happen just a few miles away from the house. So that was one of the main things, is like, the mom talked about how we were just going down the street, and and those are the moments when things happen. So I do want people to take away that, safety first always. When you get in that car, put your seatbelt on, so that message is in there. And then just being mindful and responsible, and knowing that, life is precious, time is precious, and things can happen that will just, take you years to deal with. So, just be very conscious and very precious with the family and friends and everything, because when the film ends, it's left open, but there are some things that really take place when people deal with loss like that for a period of time. We don't know how that arrangement is going to turn out in the end. So yeah, there's some things in there, but more than anything, I just really wanted to entertain people with, a story that caught them off guard.
Right, it was entertaining. Another thing that was entertaining was the music. I really enjoyed the holiday music you used. Christmas bells are ringing, let it snow, and so forth, just to help move it along.
Yeah.
So, to tell us a little bit about your thought behind the music behind in the film.
Again, that was something where we were just searching for some great music, and I'm my favorite is Stevie Wonder. So anytime I can find a way to put Stevie in something, that would be great. But it just so happened those songs were old enough that they were, public domain, and we could utilize them. And I thought they, like you said, the songs that connected with the scenes. Like I'm a big fan of music that really marries to the images. So there were some songs that we found, and we thought, okay, this opens the movie, and then this one gets you into the mood of the story that they're telling about her journey as Babyface. So yeah, music, I started out in music, Eric, you know that. So it's like music is a big part of how I go about filmmaking.
Well, good. It definitely added to it and to this film. Well, Kevin, this has been such a delight and a pleasure to talk to you and for you to share some insight about this film. Before I let you go, can you tell us what's next for you? What can we expect to see from you in the near future?
Man, I am working on, in this pandemic, I've been writing a lot. And me and my writing partner are working on a series. I'm sorry, it's not a series, it's a feature film. We keep talking about it as a series, but it's a feature film, a comedy kind of whodunit film. And we're really excited. I don't want to give the name or anything like that yet, but we've been writing it through this whole uh, pandemic, and I'm really excited about getting that done and casting Cleveland. Cleveland cast and crew again, and as soon as they open up the doors for us to film, we're gonna start working on that.
Sounds exciting. We can't wait to see it. Well,
Thank you.
Kevin, we just spoke with Kevin Taylor, director of Baby Faith Christmas. Thank you so much for joining us today and for your inspiration in this film.
Thank you for having me, man. I really appreciate it.
And thank you to our audience for joining us for this important and invigorating conversation. For more information about the current 45th Cleveland International Film Festival and upcoming film festivals, please visit clevelandfilm.org. I'm Eric Siler. Thank you.